I don't really know if there's a word for this concept, so I'm just gonna call it a bada-boom moment, because that's basically what it is. It's just kind of like bada-boom.
Badaboom.
So what's a bada-boom moment? Okay, so we've all heard of the law of conservation of energy, right? Energy is neither converted nor destroyed, it just changes.
It gets converted.
Whatever, same difference. That's what a bada-boom moment is. I like them because they're mysterious. It's an invisible force, and you can manipulate it and play with it like Play-Doh, and have it do all these amazing, cool things.
Well, okay, technically you can't see it because you can see colors, right?
No, that is not us seeing colors. That's what the energy is doing to us. It's making us see colors.
Yeah, and?
B, I don't think you fully understand what I'm trying to say here. What do you call somebody who has no electricity in their brain?
Brain dead?
Exactly, and do you know what that means? Our consciousness lives in the energy.
That is kind of weird.
Right? Well, but what happens when we're asleep when we go unconscious? Okay, well that one's a little bit harder to explain. Have you guys ever seen Stephen Hawking's show Into the Universe? You gotta watch episode 2, because he actually explains how it would be possible if you were moving faster than the speed of light, then you could actually rip through the fabric of space and time and travel into the future. This isn't science fiction, this is like science Stephen Hawking's. What's light made out of?
Energy.
Right, and what's our consciousness made out of?
Energy.
Exactly. So doesn't it make sense that if something is made out of energy, it can rip through the fabric of space and time and travel into the future? Wait, so you're saying that our consciousness travels into the future when we fall asleep? That is so weird. Yeah, so doesn't that make perfect sense? Well, yeah, I guess only, what about dreaming? That you're conscious in your dreams, right? Well, then it travels into your dreams and then you wake up. What about when you're only half conscious? Like when you're under the influence of drugs or something? Maybe it's like the consciousness gets like compressed, like a zipped file. I mean, just because we know how to use energy doesn't mean that we know half the stuff that it goes through. I mean, it is invisible. It's kind of hard to study something that's invisible. There could be all sorts of different things interacting with it that we haven't even had the technology to discover yet. I mean, think about it. How much of the ocean hasn't been discovered? Like, how much of the universe has not been discovered when it comes to, like, interacting realms within realms? I mean, you gotta think about it. The world is, like, infinite, and so we've only got 5 senses to see everything.
5 senses to see everything?
Okay, so what about death? What happens then?
That is a good question. Where does a consciousness go when it's not bound to a body?
Didn't think about this one, did ya?
Okay, well let's just go back to the fact that we don't know jack squat about energy and what it's capable of. Apart from what we can observe and control. One thing that we do know is that it's neither created nor destroyed. Instead, it gets converted and then it travels around doing all these strange, useful, mysterious things.
What do you mean?
Well, think about it. You got a ray of energy coming from the sun, and then the plant takes it and twists it into this bond.
How do they do that? Okay, so pretty much the plant is made out of all these little magnets with force fields holding them together. And then the sun emits all these little waves, and then when the waves hit one of these things, it absorbs it, and then it'll change the bond. And then the energy will be stored in that little force field. Then the plant gets eaten, and the body has all these little chemical reactions that take place inside of it. And it moves all these little balls around and all the little force fields around. And then they burst open and they release that energy in the form of heat and movement.
Where does it go when it's released? Okay, well yeah, how would that work? If our consciousness was just some wave of energy traveling from some big, powerful source, and then bound up in a physical thing say, our bodies, then yeah, I guess it makes sense to say that when our bodies finally release this energy, it travels around freely. So you're saying it's there's 2 suns, there's a sun in the physical world and it supplies light rays, and then you're saying that there's a sun in the spiritual world, and it supplies energy in the form of consciousness? Yes, I suppose it is a supplicant in that sense. Well, so if all of our memories are stored in our brain cells, then when our consciousness moves on, does that mean that it leaves them all behind? That question kind of leads us back to the point that we shouldn't overestimate what we know. If there is a whole realm of energy with a big energy sun, then you would think that that sun's energy would fuel a whole ecosystem, just like the way our sun does. I mean, think of the metaphor. It's there'd be energy trees and there'd be energy animals. It would just literally be a parallel universe that interacts with our universe, the physical universe, the one that we pay attention to. But we did learn based off those memories, right? I mean, as we're living our lives, there's information flowing into our bodies through our eyes and our ears, and it's all getting bound up in our brains. Where does all that energy go? The law of conservation of energy says that it can't be destroyed.
Bound to our physical body.
Yeah, so it gets held up in these bonds just like a molecule. And then I'll bet you it bonds with the energy of our consciousness, so when our physical body finally releases it, the two things are bound together as one. So yes, I think that once the consciousness energy is freed, it would also be bound with the energy of the memories.
But yeah, that is a good point. Like, it's not the same when it comes out as when it went in, because it went in as like a light ray, and then it came out as heat and movement. So yeah, like every time you move, that's energy that came from the sun.
So you're saying you think that's what happens to us?
You know, that actually happens a lot in nature.
Oh hey, it happens all the time in nature. Isn't nature just like a bunch of patterns repeating itself in all these weird, different, crazy ways?
Yeah, that's why metaphors are so useful.
Well then, so yeah, that seems entirely plausible. Okay, well what about a body? Like, how do we do things without a body? Well, if it's the realm of everything made out of energy, then our bodies would probably be made out of energy, and you'd probably be able to touch things that are made out of energy. Do you think there'd be other life forms? Well, if a human body is not intelligent without its consciousness energy, and like a computer isn't intelligent without like its electrical energy, then it kind of almost seems like the energy realm is the source of intelligence. And then the physical realm is just kind of like a storage device slash enzyme. So you're trying to say that we're all just little rays of sun that come out of like some supernatural sun. Are you really trying to say that? Like we're just little energy waves? That is so trippy. So they would be a lot more intelligent than us. Yeah, and probably a lot more powerful. So hold on, if this energy realm contains a sun that emits energy waves of consciousness and intelligence, then wouldn't this burning inferno of energy have intelligence and a consciousness? That would make sense, wouldn't it? And it lies at the center of everything in the energy realm. Something like that.
Hold on, this is all just speculation, right?
Something like that. So what's a Badaboom moment? Oh, that's just what I call the moments when the energy is being converted from one form to another. They occur anywhere that energy is known to be active. Okay, so hold on, what do you mean by energy? Well, there's electrical energy, which is just like little electrons flying from atom to atom, so little balls flying around. Then there's movement, that's also a form of energy. Heat is also a form of energy, and then there's also the electromagnetic spectrum. You know, like light waves and radio waves. And then last, I think we should definitely include sound waves. Okay, so now where is all energy known to be active? Inside computers and inside all living creatures. Basically anywhere that chemical reactions take place, right? So when you're cooking, thinking, driving a car, that's energy. Interesting. So why is this so important? Because those are the moments where the energy realm interacts with us. I love you guys. Where is all energy known to be?
That's because the light rays, I can't. I'm just trying to come up with this, like, right off the top of my head. But yeah, that is a good point. Like, it's not the same when it comes to open and it releases all the...
I mean, metaphor. Just back to the point that we should know. Should I try that one more time? Let's do it. Okay, so we've all heard of the law of conversation. Moving fast as the speed of the light. You know, there could be so